Hello, this is Crypto Neptune, and in today's video, we're going to answer the question, is the time now for ZBCN? As we have been on a price roller coaster, so we're going to break it down in this video. And remember, guys, nothing I say is financial advice. So with ZBCN on the day, we're up 1.59% and sitting at a $293 million market cap with 9.68 million in trading volume over a 24-hour period. But here's where the roller coaster happened. We are still up 198% on the year. So on the year, we're up 198%. We're way down here at 0.008. Then we're down at 0.0007. So we're way down here at these price points. And then we just had like a nice run up. So 70 million in trading volume over a 24-hour period. And the price at that time was 0.001. So we've seen that with this project, it has been a roller coaster with the price. We've seen the volatility and the volume come through with this project, then another pullback, and then a massive run up. So as you can see here, look at this, 123 million over a 24-hour period, and this was on May 23rd. So we saw that the volume just crank up, 178 million over a 24-hour period. So we know the power of what this project can do. And then here, 261 million over a 24-hour period. If we could consistently keep that volume, it's game over. And then we topped out at 0.006, and actually it was 0.007 at one point as the all-time high. And then we pulled back. And then another rally where we were getting 46 million in trading volume. And then another rally again up to 0.005 and then a pullback. So this project has shown the potential of running up and then having that pullback. But what other things would be a catalyst for this project? And another thing that would be a catalyst for this project and crypto in general is this post put out by Watcher Guru, and it says President Trump says Americans will get at least a 2,000 dividend payment, excluding high income earners. So essentially, extra money will be coming out. Now he says it's from the tariffs. Who knows? But we know what happens when people get a little extra money, and it could be a potential for people to use some of that to invest in crypto. We've seen that happen before when during COVID and those stimuluses that kept coming out. Now, could it be more than one? Could it be a $2,000 check and that's it? Or could we receive several because of the tariffs? I don't know. We'll see how that goes, but I think that's cool that that's out there. But again, that's just extra money flooding into crypto because people are looking for a way out and an opportunity. And we also got to think about the institutional money. So with the institutional, we know MasterCard has invested in ZBCN, Deutsche Bank, Circle is publicly traded, Assure is publicly traded. So all these companies that are institutional, those institutional investors are going to come into crypto. And I feel it's going to bring a lot of volatility. They're going to look for projects that they understand. They can understand that Zebec Network is a payroll company on Web3. That's easy to understand. Oh, and we just made paying employees better by allowing them to get paid instantly, getting paid by the second as opposed to weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. And this kind of project changes everything. And we've seen this project run up to 0.007. So imagine that times, again, the things that are changing in a positive way. the government has opened back up, so that's cool, and potentially maybe more of those federal employees are getting back to work. Everybody's getting paid again, and that'll allow people to get back on their feet and then have some sort of catalyst down the road. So that's cool. But getting to that 007 mark and then essentially continuing to send up, we'd love to see this project extend up to that 1 cent mark. And I've said I feel like this can get to 10 cents. And what does it look like? You already saw like a sneak peek because I already accidentally clicked on it. But Zcash, they have a $10 billion market cap. So in order for us to get the 10 cents, we'd have to get to a $10 billion market cap. And if everything aligns the way it should, and these institutions are actually starting to invest in utility projects, I feel the whole narrative has been around stable coins and remittance transfer payments and banks rushing to align with payment companies like ZBCN. It's just the writing is there for everybody to see. But yeah, Zcash, that one has been on a nice run. And we hope that with ZBCN, we can do the same here. And that is a 34x. So that would be a 34x for this project to get to that point. Now, would we love for that to just continue on? I would not complain if it just melted faces and just continued to ascend up. And see, so Lois, what else is going on? And then here, yeah, a marketing campaign, Zebec and Uphold campaign kicks off November 10th with NBA and NHL. So stadium takeovers and radio ads. So probably like some ads around the arena and some radio spots. And said this is regulated national and real world exposure like we've never seen before. Yeah, so this is just more exposure for Zebec and Uphold. And then here are the games and the teams. So from November 10th through November 28th, it's going to be a nice little campaign with the NHL and NBA and essentially reaching more eyes. So this is some cool stuff. And then here's like an example of the hockey jersey that they made some custom jerseys, and those have been given out to community members. Now, will the players be wearing the jerseys with the logos on it? I would have to see it with my own eyes, but I think it's more so just the advertisement around the arena, things like that, the radio spots. But anyway, that's cool. But we'll just see what happens with all this. And then ZBCN man, he says Coinbase is loading ZBCN. Here's the full on-chain proof. Full breakdown of why listing is soon. And it says total ZBCN bought over the last 12 months, 6.8 billion, and that's $21.4 million worth of ZBCN. It's verified on SolScan, and it makes sense because Coinbase is an early investor in Zebec Network. So all that makes sense. And it says here's when the biggest buys happen. October 29th, they bought 1.2 billion ZBCN. And then, so they've been loading up. And then it says Coinbase listing odds. So ZBCN man thinks December 2025, which is up to an 80% chance. And then potentially January would be an 85 to 90% chance. So this is cool. And again, if this has happened, that's just more exposure and more eyes because Coinbase has over 100 plus million users, which would be a shot in the arm for this project. So that's awesome. Here's one. Yeah, that's Coinbase wallet here. And A lot of transfers and stuff going on here, so that's cool. So yeah, so it's just only a matter of time before we get that Coinbase listing. And again, it could be a buy the rumor, sell the news event. So let's keep that in mind. But yeah, if it runs more beyond that, then that's awesome too. Yep. And then Milo says manifesting a ZBCN Coinbase listing end of year. Yep. So that's cool. And then again, Zebec is at the right place at the right time. They're in the Circle Alliance, and they're in there with partners like Visa, State Street, Invesco, MasterCard, etc. But when you're in that Circle Alliance, you get the opportunity to network with those other partners. So this is cool stuff, being a part of Circle's ARC testnet. So a lot going on, a lot of potential catalysts. Seems like we're trending in the right direction, where we hope at least from now until the end of the year. Let's cross our fingers for some positive momentum in crypto in general, and just everything just have that roller coaster ride up. I want to thank you for listening to this video, and thanks for stopping by.